Welcome to Pappy's Peloton. We have stage 4. We do hill repeats today. So welcome to everyone. If you've done the first 3 days, today sort of leaves us I guess a difficulty out of 10, about 7.5, 8 out of 10. So second hill repeat. If you haven't been before, housekeeping is suggest you grab a water bottle, a towel, put a fan in front of you there, and simply follow along with me. If you press play, which you already have on this video, I'm going to take you through the entire 40-minute set. To the side here you'll see your relative gearing, which I'll talk about as we go, your leg cadence turnover, and your intensity, and that's going to pop up here to the side, so you'll see exactly where you should be relative to your current level of fitness and cycling talent and interests. So if you want to follow along with me via the set, which is actually below here, if you want to have a little look at what all the numbers mean, and if you want to join in along with me, I'm going to start my stopwatch here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Right, as we've done in all the warm-ups, guys, I want you to find yourself a gearing of about 5 out of 10. Again, if you haven't been with me before, that's pretty much that resistance in your legs that you feel at that early warm-up phase of any sort of workout or ride that you may go on. Not a stack of tension through the pins. You can sort of sit up nice and easily and turn your legs over. Now I'm on an old mag trainer here, which allows me just to change my resistance via my gears up and down my tree. I know there's some people in this group that are simply on spin bikes where resistance is the knob down here, and brake lever and drive wheel, and then others are on their computerized system via their phone or tablets or CompuTrainers, where you're simply changing your resistance via watts on a computer. I don't care how you adjust your resistance, I just want you to find the relative gearing that I throw out. At the moment we're on a cadence of about 80, and that's my leg turnover. I'm not running off a cadence meter, which I would have used for 30 years. If you have got one, then dial that into about 80. If you haven't, just join in about what I'm at. So coming up to our first split of the day, we're at gear 5. For the next 2 minutes, don't change your leg speed. Lock in the 80 and just take it down slightly harder gear relative to you. Alright, so legs are still at 80. I went from gear 5 to gear 6. So spin is just a little turn, a couple of mil to the right. Wattage, boys, up about 10, 15 watts. I drop my chain once down the cogs. Because this is relative, I'm using an old mag trainer. I probably went from about 15 to 14 at the back, but my legs are the same. So hill repeat day. This warm-up phase is just 2 minutes, which we've done, and then a slight little progressive increase in resistance because it is hill repeat day, but my turnover remains the same. Then we go into some 30-second little spikers, nothing too dramatic. Then we hit the prime set, where we do some 2-minute hill repeats, and in the main set we do some 3-minute hill repeats. Just go along with me. I think you'll enjoy the set. It's a cool set. Coming off intervals yesterday, which blows the doors off a little bit. Today we sort of hold our intensity. We work really strongly through the legs, so we probably don't blow the doors off in the engine. Good workout. 15 seconds, guys. First change of the day. Second change of the day, beg your pardon. And that's going to be another slight increase in resistance. Are you ready? Go. Alright. I threw my chain down one more cog then, but I'm holding the same leg speed, yes? Okay, intensity. I'm using my heart rate monitor to give you a relative understanding of where I'd like you to be at. As I've said in previous videos, my, working super strongly like yesterday's intervals, 155 or whatever. I'm at 126 right now. So I'm at that 75-80% of that effort, which is where I want to be in the warm-up phase. So you should be feeling, regardless of numbers via heart rates or wattage, power output, whatever, you're at your sort of 5.5, 6 out of 10. And that's where we'd like to be just for the warm-up phase. So right now we've got a minute to go. Pins are at 80. Your gearing's like that relative 7 out of 10. So a nice little climber. It's like you're going up a 2-3%er, but holding your chain ring and just sitting up, relaxing. Hill repeat day. So we're going to be throwing down the weight of the gear, pushing back in the saddle, trying to push over the barrel a bit. Okay, so in 15 seconds time, guys, we're actually going to drop back an easier gear to 6, and legs will be ever slightly dropped to 70 on 5, 4, 3, 2. Make the gear again a little easier. I'm going to go back up and just slow it down to 30, 70. And on 30, we're going to leave the gear and we're going to go quick sticks, 100 on the pins for 30 seconds. We're going to do that 1 minute split. That's 30, 30, 4 times. Okay, here we go. Don't change a thing other than legs. Go. So give you 6-ish. Pins, whip it up to about 100. Notice that's increasing my turnover. Even legs. Clean circles. 10 seconds. Heart rate 132 for me. And back it off. Back down to 70. Again, leaving gear and just back off the pins. Back off the pins. Like you're sitting in the middle of the peloton on a flattish pitch, yakking. Welcome to Domestic Mick. He's my main man that fixes my water and towels and cleans up after me. And yep, spin it. Circles. And back it off. So back to 70. Back to 70. Now my heart rate and obviously breath rate pitched up to about 134 then. So I'm starting to get up to my 85% now. A bit more blood flowing, a little more heat in the pins. Slight little hint of acidity in the pins just then. Nothing we can't handle. Go! Spin her up. Leave the gear. Get those legs moving. Get those legs moving. 10 seconds. Quick sticks. Heart rate 136 for me. And back it off. Back to 70. Sitting up. Soft mitts at the front. Yeah, so I want to welcome everyone, my mates from the Northern Beaches, a whole heap of you in. We're in lockdown. You can get out, but still restricted. 3, 2, 1, last one. Hop. Spin it up. Friends around the country. We've got Troy from Darwin, Brisbane, Tassie. They're all represented. All my mates, of course, in the snowy. They're in. It's easy for them. They love the hill days. 3, 2, 1. Leave your gear. Leave your gear, please. Don't touch it. Rig your legs back down to 70 once again. So we're into the priming set. We're going to go 1 minute at this. Gear 6. Legs at 70. And then in 40 seconds, we're going to throw some heat into the legs, push ourselves back in the saddle. Heel's going to drop a fraction, and we're going to simulate we're all going up a hill of about 5-6%. So it's got some oomph in that. And we're going to hold that for 2 minutes. I'm going to get up to my 85, even a fraction beyond that intensity. But my legs are certainly going to be up to mid-90s. So however you change your resistance, be ready. 2, 1, gear. Gear. 8 out of 10 now. So you can see my heels are dropping because the resistance is that much greater through my legs. Now, ideally don't make it so heavy that you have to back it off, but you should be feeling considerably more strain for your legs. And while your heart is working, it's your legs which are feeling the grunt of this split. I've shifted a little further back in the saddle. My hands are fraction softer at the front end, but my weight is kind of typically wants to sort of throw up the front end, and that's of course to keep my front wheel down if I'm climbing. And I want you to just consider you're making big circles with those legs. Ideally, try and bring your hips in. You've all got strong hips, use them. Don't just rely on quads to sort of throw it over the barrel. I have obviously cleated shoes on here, which allow me to be clipped and to sort of hold purchase to the bottom at 6 o'clock, and while I don't aggressively pull through, my hamstrings obviously can play a small role there in helping you pick up that recovery leg. Okay, 5 seconds guys. My heart rate about 130, 2 and 1. Back off the gear. I'm ready to go back to gear 6 and just keep your legs at 70. All right, keep your legs at 70. And we've got this 1 minute recovery. So again, relative to your intensity, yesterday when we did smackdown intervals, I was at 155 blowing. Right then I was at about 130, 1.2. All right, so I'm that percentage off that max. But obviously you can probably see my legs, they were obviously gripping teeth, obviously more than we did yesterday, and my heel was dropping as I went over the barrel. So I want you to find that nice heavy chunked gear. It's relative to you guys. We've got 10 seconds. Set. Go find that big heavy gear. Go. Change your bike. Sit back in the saddle. I have this old mag wheel here. I've had to really compress the wheel, the roll wheel into my tyre really heavily to get the purchase I need. Again, my heart's sort of getting up to that high 120s. We'll be in the 130s early soon. Soft hands at the front. So far so good, guys. Thanks for joining me. This Pampy's Peloton, which is the second one we've done, courtesy of my old mate COVID and lockdowns. This initiative is largely for our brains, more so than our cycling interests and talents. It's a commitment of every day, a 40-minute set with this bugger lugs leading the way. Gives us something to do. Whack it in your diary. You can of course do more. You can of course go for a spin outside. You can do some weights, but just consider this to be your dial-in daily hit for this odd period in the world, here in Oz anyway. Keep pushing over the hill, guys. It's like I'm doing weights on the bike. 3, 2, 1, and drop your gear to 6, please. And just spin it up to 70. Okay, so we have one more of these little 2-minute climbies. Then, as I said, we're going to do 4 3-minute hill climbs where we're sort of maxing out the resistance. This hill repeat set, I'd like you to remain seated. I'm aware that some can, come out of the saddle, and this erg that I have is stable enough to allow me to do that. I know some of you on spin bikes. Wahoos typically don't love particularly a bigger weight coming out of the saddle. So we're going to do the whole set seated, please. It's better for your riding interests anyway. Okay, you ready? Go find me, please. That big chunky gear. Throw that arse back a fraction further in your saddle. Softer mitts at the front. Relax your neck and your shoulders. I'm at 132, my heart rate, for your interest. So Pampy's at like an 85%. I can obviously hold that intensity for a long time. So I want you to feel you can hold the output through the breath and your ticker, but I want you to feel like you're doing weights on the bike. So big, slow, chunky, heavy legs. Now how you find that? Big Johnny D, you'd be throwing out well over 400 plus watts. Hamo, you'd be up around 500 watts, I suspect. Doesn't really matter. Welcome to my dad joins us again on his $300 Audi stationary little gig. Seems to be holding up. Will it make the tour? I reckon Dad will make the tour. I'm sure his $300 Audi will. But he's in there and he's pressing. And it's seemingly possible he can join us. Welcome to our Tour de France yellow jersey winner, Bradley. Three Chris's I can see on my list. Welcome all the Chris's. Pressing up, guys. Again, my ticker's at around like 130, 1.2. Remember yesterday I was blowing the doors off at 150. And 3, 2, 1. And back down to gear 5, please. All right. Now it's time to call Domestic Mick in. Mick's from Snowy. Good capable rider in his own right. But he's my domestic for this tour. So Mick, water, here. Towel down. Now would be a good time. Beautiful morning here. I'd rather be on the road than hanging out with you lot. Nah, this is good. Okay guys, so you're gonna find me in 15 seconds, like gear 8.5. It's like 6 to 8% incline. Talking like those silly hill climbs. You ready? Go find me at go. You can hear my gear. I'm on, not that it relates, to a big ring, small ring, and I've compressed my mag wheel to press in as hard as it can be. So right now, I feel like I'm up like a 6 to 8, even 9%. Those big Tour de France pictures that you see, they're all around that 11, 12, 13%. Obviously they have some monsters in there as well, but all the postcard ones, they're about that. So I'm definitely, you can see my heel dropping as I press over the barrel here. I'm probably rocking a fraction too much in the saddle too. So I'm going to try and keep my hips down. And again, it's like I'm doing weights on the bike. It's like I'm doing weights on the bike. So this is a 3-minute heel press. Minute off. And we do that split, as I said, 4 times. Okay, so big, heavy, strong, chunky legs, please. So, as I said, some of our boys with watts, which I typically use a computer system, I think I'd be around 450 watts or something like that. I'm just holding this nice, big, chunky gear. Billy, good to see you. Danny, welcome. 1 more minute. 1 more minute. You see, just keep your legs really even. As I said, guys, ideally, I'd rather you didn't come out of the saddle. Now, unless you have to fix yourself up, I'd like you to remain seated. Megan, Puma, welcome Megan. Good to see you. Good rider. "15 seconds. Again, like you're doing weights on the bike, guys. My heart rate's only at 130, which is about 85, so I'm working, but not blowing the doors off, and that's time. All right, back your gear off. Nice and easy. Sitting up. Breathe. When you practice your nasal breathing for me now, please. Go. Spin your legs up to about 80. But the gear's only about 5. You have 30 seconds now to recover, but I want you to try and do it with nasal breathing only. Sometimes I'll put water in my mouth, just a little, to keep my mouth shut. Doesn't happen often. And then I relax my neck and shoulders, soft mitts at the front, and just practice a deeper nasal breath. I would often, on a stationary bike, close my eyes as well. 5 seconds. Okay, ready? And time. All right, chunk it down, please. All right, position yourself, get settled in the saddle. And we've got 3 minutes. Once again, where you are throwing in some heat. All right, there needs to be some heat downstairs. I'm rocking a little too much. So hips down, sit bones back in the saddle, held down, weight coming forward, soft mitts at the front. Don't grip the hell out of your bar and you're just wasting juice up here. You want all your juice going downstairs to buffer that lactic is building up. Yet again, gear 8.5 out of 10. So, if I go to a 9, I really would want to do probably some out of the saddle spikes. Okay, so stay seated. But if I went to another gear here, it would probably be that strong that I'd probably want to have to do this intermittently. Okay? So just shy of that is where I want you right now. So find that big chunky resistance, stay seated, and make those big monster circles with your legs. See my ass is right off the back of the saddle. The heels are obviously dropping big time. I'm trying to sync up that synergy between the glutes, my low core, the belly button, the pubic bone. So if you brace that area, you'll find your hips stay a little lower and you can find you can get a better rhythm when you're sort of particularly going over the press and you're pressing through the sticking point through say quarter past, say from 12 o'clock to quarter past. You'll find that's a good way. We've got 30 seconds to go. Again, my ticker's around that high 120s, early 130s. So panties 85%. So good solid work in. You can hear my breath rate. So I'm not like what I was yesterday when I did intervals. But my legs, well, they're in the gym. They're in the gym. Five seconds. And back off, please. Back off. Back off. Back off. Back off. So, gear 5, get those legs whipping a bit. Pretend we've gone a little bit of a plateau. If you want to drink, drink. Towel, towel. Sit up, sit up. Get your breathing under control. Hill repeats, 3 minute, big, strong, chunky hill repeats. Again, today's difficulties are at 7.5 out of 10. But the legs certainly should be feeling this more than they perhaps did yesterday. Okay, let's find that big chunker, go. Slide back, hands at the front, find that big heavy gear. However you do that, gearing, brake wheel, computerized wattage, find that 8 out of 10. Go, sit back in the saddle. I want you to focus on nasal breathing only, please. On 3, 2, 1, get set, and just focus. Shut your eyes, and I want you to just take all inhalations and exhalations through your snot box. Make your circles. Legs should be really, all those fibers in your quads. Big teardrop at the front there. It's got to know it's in the game. Remember, I can't control your watts. Nose breathing, please. "30 seconds nose breathing. Come on. Nose breathing. You may see your heart rate increase a fraction with the nose breathing, but the more we practice this, the more it'll adapt, improve. Nasal breathing is a more efficient breathing. Now, obviously, there comes a point you cannot nasal breathe. "1 minute. You can breathe how you wish. If it was me, I'd continue to nasal breathe. Big chunky gear, guys. Big chunky gear. I would never have my cadence this low on the flats. It's just purely to climb. And this simulation. "20 seconds. Keep the press. Don't back off your cadence. Try not to rock on the saddle too much. Keep your hips down. And 3, 2, 1. Alright. Sit up. Find your gear 5. Spin it up. Domestic Mick. Domestic Mick. Water. Thanks, Mick. Okay, get it together. We've got 30 seconds. And again, hit another solid 3. Couple to go. A couple to go. Stay with me now. So we got 10 seconds. Three, 2, 1. Alright guys, go find me please. At gear 8.5 out of 10. Get back in the saddle. Go find me that super heavy, strong gear. And then lock it in please. Lock it in. Lock it in. Pressing up and over the barrel. My engines will again kind of creep up to that 130 kind of thing, and it'll probably just hang out pretty much higher than that today. And my legs, as you can see via the slowness and heaviness of my stroke, is certainly pressing, I guess, a 6 to 8 steam kind of, something like that. I don't know what the bike speed would be, doesn't matter. Nose breathing on 3, 2, 1, go. Shut your mouth. Nose breathing only. With practice, you will, through nasal breathing, through nitric oxide, which is released through the olfactory canals, will improve your racing and resting heart rate, training heart rate, help you buffer, reduce stress hormones like cortisol, you when you're on the gas. And yes, there'll come a point where you'll need to mouth breathe, but you got to keep practicing it. And this set today allows us to keep pressing Go with me. One more minute. Keep pressing. Just go with me. And splits. "15 seconds, guys. 15 seconds, please." And time period. Gear down, please. Gear 5. Spin it up. Bring your legs at 80. Quick sticks. Alright, got one to go. You got one to go. Water, towel. Get that heart rate back down. Get the breath rate back down. Spin some of that heavy lactic out of your pins. Obviously your legs should be feeling a fraction clunky now because we've pressed. So you're just trying to whip some of that out actively. This will be our last split of stage 4. So stay with me, last climb. Really work that gear, make it nice and heavy. 3, 2, 1. Alright, go find it. Position yourself. Sit back. Find the stroke. And get up and over the barrel. Really press. For our last hill repeat of the day. So definitely throw some feet, fiddle around with your gearing. I want you finishing your split thinking, well, I'm glad that's done. And you could probably do another one if I truly asked, but you know, you should be feeling fairly glad that the pins are now done. That's how I want your legs feeling at the end of this split. Alright, so work with me. We have 2 minutes. Nasal breathing starts on 3, 2, 1, go. Get your breathing rhythmic, so try and control while you're holding an even cadence right now, albeit super slow and you know, feeling the teeth of the chain ring. Try and keep your breath rate similarly controlled. My heart rate's sort of plateauing around that 130 and it's not really going much higher than that, which is where I want it. My 85-ish kind of percent, maybe a fraction more. But the breath rate through your nose, try and keep that the same. Like up, in 2, 3, out 3, in 3, out 3, something like that. It's not easy to get at that rhythmic, and you'll catch yourself like, yeah, gasping to grab some air. Right, all right. Nasal breathing to the end, guys. You've got 30 seconds. Super duper heavy chunk. Stay seated, don't come out. Finish the set. 5 seconds. And chunk the gear back down. Go and get it up. So gear 5, that sort of typical warm-uppy gear. Spinners at 70, guys. Spinners at 70. Let's finish off this last minute of the set. All right, so stage 4. Almost in the bank. Happy days. Well done. We're over the hump. Tomorrow's set, we're back to enduring intervals, so longer intervals. In between the chunk of today and the spikes of yesterday, it's those longer intervals. And we've got the queen phase of like a 7-minute extended, enduring effort. So be ready for that one. Well done. Stage 4. Thank you, crew. And that is a wrap.